Hello coaches, welcome back to another Modern Soccer Coach Breakdown. This week we're going to talk about an email I get quite often. Love the exercises, enjoy the ideas, but I've got limited space as a coach on a pitch and I don't have enough space to move exercises from A to B to C. So how do I create a session plan when space is limited? And that's what we're going to work on today. I'm going to put the full session plan on the website below on the link if you want the dimensions and the organization. You can find it on the link below. If you enjoy it, please give it a like. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more content. Session organization with limited space. Here we go. Okay, as always, we'll start with organization and objectives. The organization we're going to face the biggest challenge, and that is in the middle of the pitch. If you've been assigned the middle of the pitch and you don't have 18-yard boxes and you don't have that full pitch verticality, we're going to look at how you would train a session around that there. And then the objectives for the session, ironically, is going to be that verticality aspect in possession, a possession-based team that wants to look for those inside pockets. And the reason why I've picked that topic is because even though you've got limited space, maybe that is a good opportunity to work on an aspect of the game that is challenged in terms of organization. So let's look at that, pass and verticality and working on a half pitch. Here we go. Okay, so field setup is key. It's the absolute most important part of this here, is the organization beforehand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark out all my area before the session. I'm going to get 2 full-size goals. I'm not going to use the full width of the pitch. I'm going to use just inside it. I'm going to put the 2 full-size goals on each end to start with. And then I'm going to have 3 pitches inside that there area and use that there for my session plan. And hopefully this makes sense as we go along. So I'm going to start the session the smallest space possible, the inside space. I've got 12 players, so I'm going to look at dividing them into 3 teams of 4. This will be a fast, sharp, transitional transfer game, 4v2, 2 pressers, 2 screeners. After 5 passes, you're trying to transfer the ball. If you lose the ball, you become the defensive team. Play 4 sets, play 3 minutes, keep the score, give them a point if they transfer successfully. Why this game I think is important is because in the winter months you're going to want them moving, you're going to want them pressing, you're going to want them looking for those spaces initially to play the ball forward. Good game to start the session. So for the second exercise we're going to pick up the cones on the inside and we're going to move back now to the red cones. And now we're going to use 2 neutrals on the inside, 2 neutrals on the outside. 4v4 plus 2 transfer game. So the objectives are you get 1 point if you can successfully use the overload in the middle, transfer the game from one end to the other. 1 point. Yellow players, neutral players limited to 2 touch in order for the speed of play to increase. After each set, rotate the neutral players so everyone gets a turn. Quick, fast moving game, but it's also got that verticality of playing the target players on the outside and everyone's playing. So there's that movement aspect, everyone's involved and the energy continues to be high. Okay, next set, we'll move quickly. We'll pick up the red cones. We'll move back now to the white area. And now we will put the 1 neutral on each outside zone. We'll put the other 2 neutrals. We'll put in a colour. We'll bring in the goalkeepers, who I assume have been with the goalkeeper coach at the club practice. So we'll bring them in for the last 25 minutes. And now we're going to play 5v5 plus 2. And the 2 neutrals are going to be, again, restricted in that wide space. They can move up and down. Space is going to be limited in the middle, which can be a good thing because those vertical passing options will open and close very quickly. So sometimes they'll need to play outside in order to move the defensive team across. And then the last game, simple adaptation, we're going to move the 2 neutrals on the inside zone. So now you don't have the outlet of the wide player. Whenever it gets congested in the middle, you're going to have to solve it with combination play using the overload, which is a different challenge. But again, if verticality is the objective of the session, then you're going to have to start looking at how to create different solutions with different challenges and different pictures. And this one here will be an overload centrally. So it changes the conditions of the game. Again, in the winter months, you want to keep it moving all the time, but you want to keep the players challenged in terms of game understanding and providing challenges on that side of the game as well. And I think that does. I think this dynamic changes the game slightly and still should create the overload where you get attacking opportunities. So it should provide a fast finish to the session with lots of goal scoring opportunities. If you score, you get the ball back, so you get rewarded for scoring. You can get that momentum with your possession, and it can be very, very difficult to defend against. So again, enjoyable for the attacking team once they get that rhythm, that balance, and get those solutions with the overload. So there you have it, coaches, 4 different games. We didn't move the pitch at all. We didn't go from over here to over there. We kept in the same spot. But with the planning and the organization, you can just have the exercises set up inside the other exercises. So after you've finished a small practice, you can lift the cones, move up to a bigger one, lift the cones, move up to an even bigger one. That also helps with the periodization, the sports science side. You can go from bigger spaces to bigger spaces to bigger spaces, and then you can incorporate warm-up activities if you want to add some technical work and keep it even smaller at the start. That should align in a way that you can increase the tempo and increase the challenges, both in terms of tactics and also physically as well. As the spaces get bigger, players have more ground to cover. So if you like that exercise, again, it's available on the link below for free with the dimensions and the organization on the website. When you're on the website, if you're a fan of the work, please check out Modern Soccer Coach resources, ebooks, webinar packages. We've got a new webinar coming up on player development next month with 2 unbelievable guests. I'll put that on the link below as well. Thank you for all your support. See you next week. Goodbye.